All right, so find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining these points. Okay, it's important you know what a perpendicular bisector is. A perpendicular bisector cuts a line segment in half, bisects it, and then it creates a 90-degree angle on that side. So if I have the line segment AB, it's going to get cut in half, and then it's going to create a 90-degree angle. It's going to be perpendicular. Now, the first step is we're going to find the midpoint of our line segment. That'll be the point on our line. And then we're going to find the slope of our line segment. That's not going to be our slope, but it's going to be the opposite reciprocal of our slope. And see, once we have that, we'll have a slope and a point for an equation. And all we got to do is put those together and write the equation of the line for the perpendicular bisector. So for the first one, when we go to find the midpoint, we just add the x's together, divide by 2, add the y's together, and divide by 2. And what we're going to find is the midpoint is going to be 1, 4. Now, once I know that, that's the point for my perpendicular bisector. All I'm going to do now is find the slope of the two points, and that's going to be 6 minus 2 over negative 3 minus 5. I'm going to find out that the slope of my line segment is negative 1/2. Now keep in mind, that's not my slope, that's the line segment slope. That's AB's slope. So now my slope is going to be the opposite reciprocal. My slope is going to be 2. So once I've got that, all I got to do is put them together and write an equation of a line, y equals mx plus b. I'm going to substitute the x in for the x and the y in for the y and the slope in for the m, and then I get this equation, y equals 2x plus 2. In b, I've got two different points, but it's going to work exactly the same way. I find the midpoint by adding the two x's and divide by 2, add the two y's and divide by 2, and then once I've got my midpoint, that's going to be the point that's on my perpendicular bisector. And once I've done that, all I'm going to do is find the slope of the line segment. So right now I've got my midpoint, that's 3, negative 2, and then when I find the slope of my line segment, it's going to look like this, and I end up, it's 3/5. Now keep in mind, that's not mine, that's the line segment. Mine's going to be the opposite reciprocal, or negative 5/3. And so now all I got to do is put these together with the y equals mx plus b, substituting them in, finding out what the y-intercept is, and then plugging them back into the equation. At the end of the day, I'm going to find out that my equation is y equals negative 5/3 x plus 3. On part C, I've got two different points, and again, all I'm going to do is the exact same thing. Find the midpoint, add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, divide by 2, and once I've got my midpoint, that's going to be the point that's going to be on my line, my perpendicular bisector. And now I'm going to go ahead and find the slope of the line segment, and that's going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to find that the slope of the line segment is going to be 3/7. So my slope is going to be the opposite reciprocal, or negative 7/3. I put that together with the point that I found. I'm going to leave it in a fraction form. It's going to be easier. Anyway, when I substitute in the y in for y, and the m in for m, and the x in for x, all I got to do is solve for b. And I'm going to find out that the y-intercept in this situation is going to be negative 2. And so then when I put them together for my equation, I get negative 7/3 x minus 2. All right, hope that helps. Thanks for watching.